Greetings, gang. Bill here. It is November the 5th, 2022. I'm making a video doing some honing. First off, my goal today is to test this particular 7/8 Thiers Issard. I've not shaved with it or honed with it yet. It's came with the factory edge, which was probably one of the better factory edges I've ever seen. Would have been nice to shave with it, but my view on a razor is that with a straight razor is you should learn how to hone. You should be able to find an edge that you like and create that edge on any piece that you own, and it doesn't matter where it came from. But in preparation for this, I did a shave test with the piece that I'm going to shave test against this, which is like form blank, a TI 7/8. This one has the French point on it, the stabby point. The other one has the round point on it. And after honing that in the SuperCurve, I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do this with tape for a specific reason. A gentleman who is a custom razor maker, Boris Riviera. I think that, Boris, if I mispronunciated that, accept my apologies. He is, I assume, the owner, proprietor, certainly the craftsman behind River Razors. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, I believe. I don't have in front of me what his screen name is here on YouTube. But he has followed me a little bit and with great interest and taken into some of the ideas behind SuperCurve honing and wants to implement those. You should, if you're looking for a custom razor, you should look him up. He makes world-class stuff, beautiful, beautiful pieces. At one time I was in the market for a custom razor, but I decided not to do that because my thing more is production razors that anybody could buy. Although I do have a few vintage pieces, and I'm not saying that I would never get a custom razor. And if I did, Boris would be the guy that I would look to, because he does understand making a concave bevel, a hollow bevel, in addition to the hollowing that he does in the manufacture of the razor. I'm not saying that there are not other custom razor makers who do not understand that theory and that practice. Most of them, if they do understand it, they're reluctant to talk about it, or they don't understand it, or they don't care, because they're not going to do it. I don't really know. I cannot give the explanations for that. But he asked me, Boris asked me after one of my videos about have I ever done this method using tape, and I never have. But today I'm trying that. I want to do that, and I want to do a side-by-side shave test against a very, very, almost very similar piece that was done exactly the way I'm honing this without tape. And I want to see, can I tell the difference in the shave? His reasoning for using tape is the best reason for using tape that I ever heard of. Now, he's a custom razor maker, making beautiful stuff. He wants to protect it. And when you pay, let's say, a premium over something you might get somewhere else for a custom piece that has the investment of the craftsman in it and some of himself and his style in that, you would probably not want to see some of the scratches and some of the indicators of honing that are very, very common. Now, there are some, so I got to understand, you want to send out a pristine looking piece. You want it to have an incredible edge. So you put a piece of tape on it, like I did here. So that's the best reason for doing that. During my shave test earlier this week with the other piece, the companion piece to this, it was the first time I had shaved with that. And I think it was the first time I shaved with it. I don't know. I shaved with it. It was just incredible. And I wanted to do a side-by-side with that. Actually, I didn't plan to do a side-by-side with that, but I pulled out, after shaving with it and having it perform so well, I pulled out the standard bearer here for me, which is the 6/8 Razor Sabre France, my fine steed, or my proud steed, Mon Frere d'Estrière, I think that's pronunciated. This was a piece that the forging was from decades ago. It's 52-100 steel, which is, I have kitchen knives in 52-100 steel. Incredible steel, incredible flexibility, incredible edge life. I really like it. It is the high carbon steel of choice for custom knife maker Bob Kramer. Look up Bob Kramer and you'll see some really, really nice stuff. Anyhow, this is my piece. The gent who grinds these is known for very, very thin grinding. This is probably the thinnest razor I have, even out of the whole thing. And I decided that I would shave with it, and the 7/8 Ti that I had just done outperformed this one, so I had to bring this one out, and I honed this one on the SuperCurve. And where does the name SuperCurve come from, and why am I using that? Well, there's a number of us who have adopted the use of a curvy hone and different methods, and some of us have gotten beat downs for it. And there's a self-famous razor honer superior, hone master superior, who runs around talking about convex hones are merely a narrow hone, and he makes these pictures where he's honing on the corner and that kind of stuff, making people believe that honing off of a shape like this does not produce a higher performance edge. And he's around on forums. You can find him. He's known for taping. He's a master taper, and he's usually master taping with his razors in the corner on a lot of forums, and you can find him. But the misnomer and the misinformation, him being an engineer who probably never engineered or did anything, probably stole everything, has the capacity to lead with misinformation and make people believe him stuff that just isn't true. So I like to use the term, you'll hear me use it in any videos, SuperCurve hollow bevel honing, because that's what it is. I'm using the SuperCurves, and I'm getting a hollow bevel, not a flat bevel. And another interesting thing, I've done a couple steps on this. I've gone with step one, exactly the same way that I went. The high curve, the SuperCurve with the 1000 grit Superstone Nagura slurry, and then the lesser curve with the 5000 grit Superstone slurry. Now I'm going to go to the my black arc with a 12K grit Superstone, Nano Superstone slurry, and then I'll go to the Sierra 20K, and then through my strop progression. Interesting thing I found looking at this under the microscope, and you could see it even on a less powerful glass that I use, this one right here, not the big one, the little one. and I don't know what the power on that is, but it's convenient, was that one of the things that I understand, that I don't know if he was the technical manager, but the source that Jared had at TI had reportedly told him when they were talking about honing razors, and he was expressing his frustration, as I understand his frustration with the difficulty people were having in honing some of their razors, and the subject of tape came up, and he was told, what we do is the opposite of tape. And that is exactly the case, because I put one piece of tape on here, and using the number one SuperCurve stone, almost immediately my wear pattern went right to the edge, so I was right on the bevel. So what they were doing is the opposite of tape. So the one layer of tape is taking away the curvature of that, and there's a whole big talk about, well, it's not that much and it can't do it. And the interesting thing is none of these people that are experts on what some of us have done, some of us like me, I'll talk about it, but a lot of people won't talk about it because they get the beat down from these know-it-alls, is that well, it doesn't make that much difference. Well, it does make a difference. The people that say it doesn't make a difference have not really experienced it. We'll see if I can get this to hone up with tape, as to shave as well as the companion piece that's done without tape. We'll see. So I'm going to do that. I'll do a little display on that as to what I'm doing. Another thing I did, interesting thing I did after I honed that razor saber, my proud steed, I have another razor that is incredibly thin. And interesting thing about some of these, to me, I think it's interesting. Thinner always cuts easier. And another razor that I have that's very thin, and I have always been continually wanting to improve the performance of them, is a German razor. It is in the 6/8 thumb notch form, common to many. I forget the name of the German forge that forges this particular blank. This is the Barber's Bride. It's a 6/8 from Wacker. And it's been a good shaver, even with the maker's edge on there. Now I'm getting this. I'm getting performance in my test, in the cut that I do, the push cut. It just goes in there, and you can see on this, as well as that French razor, the multiple curves in the shape. You can almost even see it there, where there's a line here where they're using several different diameter wheels to cut them in, to try and thin that out, because thinner means more flexible. And there was one guy, one of the know-it-alls and master of the beatdown there, who talked about thin bevels and what he was talking about. And I don't think he understands it, and I challenge him on it. But he's a prismatic triangle honer. And he talks about the thinness of it, and what he's, I'm sure, talking about is that when you are honing on the prismatic triangle, you can get literally, you could get a burr on there that is a thin part of it, and he considers it part of the bevel. And he says, well, this is no good. The difference is between the prismatic triangle and bringing to the apex and apexing something on the SuperCurve is, on the SuperCurve, you are giving that edge support. You are giving that a functional support that you can't get on a prismatic triangle. When you hone on a prismatic triangle, you have the triangle, you bring the apex, you get the apex of it, and once you round that off by wear or by whatever, the performance begins to drop drastically. Whereas in SuperCurve honing, you have a SuperCurve going and you have a much greater, as far as I'm concerned, durability on the edge. Now there are famous hone master superiors that are famous for saying that sharp is easy, smooth is not. And so he hones them smooth. I'm going to say that based on what I've heard, okay, and I've shaved with some of his stuff, okay, and it shaves, okay, but he probably gets it up and then he just, so it's smooth and it'll shave like that for a long, long time. You'll get poor performance for a long, long time because there's a whole lot of metal right up there. With SuperCurve honing, you're going to get a incredible performance for a longer period of time, not just a subpar performance. So this one is going to be just a little bit harder at this step because of the French point. To keep that on the guide, I am going to have to do a little bit of a turning motion, and I will be going by feel on that to get a blending in of that with the balance of the razor. And what I had found at this stage with a 12K slurry on this stone, that I got an incredible polish on there. It was a polish that I do not get when I use this stone, because I did it on these other razors. It was a polish that I don't get using this stone without an abrasive and just with ballistol and water as the lubricant. I like this. It's a very, very small, fine abrasive, and I've got a polish on the edge. Not the same polish, not a matching polish to what I'm going to get on the Suhiro 20K, but I do have a polish on the edge. So that particular step, going from step 1 and step 2, is done. And now I will move to the Suhiro 20K with just water. And I think maybe I should check. And this razor out of the box did pretty good on this test cut. Okay, that is it's not right now. It's not as good as it was right out of the box. Let's see what it takes to get it there here. In other honing, I've never really been able to get an incredible push cut off of that black arc. I've gotten push cut. I've usually had to go, and my Nanoa 12K shaped in the long dimension on the Jared plate is not here, because this, I think, is superior to that in performance. But at this step, I've been able to get a push cut. And even more of a polish. It just really, really looks good. I've almost there actually might be a little bit more flexibility in this piece. Let's see if I get it to where you can see. So I do have a push cut. I'm going to need a little bit more on the heel, which is not an uncommon thing to see, for the simple reason that I think it gets less abrasion here, because as soon as you make a move this way, you're off and you can abrade much more further out. So I'm not so sure that that's not also the case on any honing method where you pull the heel across and off. That is looking pretty good. And I have a push cut better than I would have ever gotten off of the Nano at 12K. So I'm going to go ahead, and that is using tape. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep tape on this until the final stropping, and then I'll pull the piece of tape off of there. So this is going to stay on through the progression of abrasive strops, and then I'll use one of the curvy strops, and I'll also use that flat bench roof for a few strokes where I'm treating just the very tip of the apex, just at the very end. So thanks for joining me on this. I will do a test shave on it. I'm 20 minutes in. I think I can probably do a test shave and tie the two videos together. It'll be kind of fun. So Bill out. Thanks for listening. Bye. Oh, the commercial. The commercial. Please visit theshavingcadre.com. It is the only shave forum where they are not opposed to the discussion of this type of honing. Other ones, I got thrown off of one by some of the famous honers, Hone Master Superiors, and there's other ones I've never joined because I just saw how they treated people who were not go along to get along drones. So, and if you are somebody who hones in a method that is different than this, please do not misinterpret some of my sarcasm to be focused in your direction, because it's not. As long as you hone in some method that makes you happy with your stuff, okay, I'll cheer you on, however that is. Where I become a little upset, shall we say, is where people like number 56, for their own notoriety, like to try and make sure everybody takes care of their own stuff his way. And it's like, okay. So, and that's not really what this is all about. This whole thing is about find stuff that you like, do what you love, have fun with it, and otherwise get yourself an electric razor or a shavette. This is Bill. Have a nice day. Out. Greetings. Bill here again. It is still November the 5th, 2022. Do a test shave on the SuperCurve honing that I just did. Tape versus no tape. Today is the day that my wife and I are heading out for dinner. 2 days ago was the last time I shaved. I think I shaved with the first TI that I'm gonna show up with. It was that day was, I believe it was I believe it was that day I shaved. It was our anniversary. It was 43 years ago, 2 days ago, 43 years ago and 2 days that that my high school sweetheart came down the aisle and made the fateful decision to marry me. So we're going out. We're meeting friends for dinner. It just so happens that the friend we're meeting was I'm gonna have to say he's my lifelong best friend. I just never had a better best friend than him, and he was the best man at my wedding. So that'll be fun. The first razor is the one I think I did a shave with this. This is a 7/8 Ti. The picture on there is the zebra or something like that. I mean, it's like, that's kind of decoration that I'm not really too fancy into. Camel bone scales. I love these. Ti. They just know how to pin a razor. When I honed this first on the SuperCurve, I first honed it, and then I went, got that curvy rock, and I went on the SuperCurve. This just shaved so well. I had to run it up against that other razor that was in the honing section of this. What I should do is I should shave test that one, but that'll be another day, and just looking at it and doing my little test cut. I think it was always the top performer out of all my razors, and I think it's still gonna hold that place. So shaving good like it did the other day. So the next one is a kinship to it, new to me, I just had to have this. I love the horn scales. I just love this one, and I like the stabby French point because it makes it look like I'm bad, real bad. Okay, so I didn't mute this. In the final analysis, after going through all my strops and everything, I'm thinking that I probably will later go back and visit that this is not quite as high of performance as this area here. Still based on that test, I still think it's going to shave well. One thing I did do when I left off on the honing was I intended to do that strop progression with the piece of tape, but what I did not like, and this is, I think I read somewhere that Lynn Abrams never used tape because he hated how it gunked up his stones. I did not like how tape was beginning to seemingly accumulate on the abrasive that I had on my strops. So probably if I was in the thing where I had to protect this razor, I don't know what I would do in that case. Maybe try some different tape or a new piece of tape every time. I don't really know what I would do. But when you do what I did, you took the tape off, then you're you're not quite getting that stropping action back out to the edge. That could be the difference that I'm seeing here. Let's hope that for dinner out tonight, I don't slash myself with a stabby point on this. And like I thought, little lower performance out on the toe, but the heel is good. Does shave. So far, I'm going to give the nod probably to the first one. I think it probably has mostly to do with the difference, this change in stropping, the change in the piece of tape taken off. You know, one could theorize that you know, well, the angles and when you're honing with a SuperCurve, you're not really on an angle, you're on a curve, and you still get the curvature going up. That effect, but it's not as acute of an angle. If there was an angle, or the arc would be in a little bit different position. But does it make it shave unacceptably? No. And if you have razors that you want to protect by taping, there's no reason you can't do that. I do like this. A little too much on the angle there. I hope I didn't slit my throat for my anniversary dinner. So I think I said it on the first part of the video, because I'm gonna hook these together. But Shaving Cadre, the greatest shave forum on the face of the earth. Bill N, that's me here on YouTube and on the Shave Forum. That's my avatar, Max Headroom. Been that for a long, long time. And this is also because this is also a little bit more coarse. Again, I think it's because of the stropping. I think when I go back and rehone this without tape, I think it'll pretty much match its cousin down there. Oh, the soap today is Sterling Deep Blue Sea. Homage to Chanel de Blue, I believe. I think I saw Scuttle Soap use that in one of his recents, if not today, yesterday. One of the things I picked up as I was racing through the Shaving Cadre forum, trying to catch all the information, catch all the scuttlebutt on Scuttle Soap. So let me go ahead and finish the total shave with the newbie. If I had to do this again, I don't know if the last hone I would have used, maybe I'd have went flat on the last one. Well, actually, I almost needed to go, taking the tape off, I almost need to go flat on the strops. Although I do have some paddle strops with the CBN braces, so maybe I should have tried that. But that would have negated the side-by-side test here. Definitely on that last against the grain, it doesn't have the smoothness that I normally get from what I think from the stropping. And I did spend a little bit more time on flat leather. A little bit of flat blading there. So that takes care of that. And touch your alum. And it doesn't surprise me, I got a little bit of sting. That second razor, just the finish on that, just not quite there. Rinse and dry the alum and Progresso, whatever they call this, aftershave balm. I like this. It doesn't take, it just takes just a little teeny tiny bit. Does a nice job. And this stuff lasts for quite some time. And then for the aftershave, the matching Deep Blue Sea from Sterling. Deep Blue Sea. I didn't get the menthol in this. I used to get menthol in a lot of them, and then he started carrying that menthol kicker, and I figured I could put it in myself, and I just find out that I really don't do it. I do like the glacial citrusy things, and occasionally I'll put that stuff in the soap, and that's pretty good in the soap. And then for a little bit of extra of the glorious stank, the EDT from Sterling, Deep Blue Sea. So out at dinner, I won't stink so bad. So that's that, and then we're gonna do the powder cannon, the powder bomb, whatever powder I put in there. For the smoothing finish. So thanks for tuning in. 2 TI 7/8 honed on the SuperCurve. One with tape. Nothing to be afraid of if you want to protect a razor. If you have a decorative piece, Nothing to be afraid of doing that. So that's Bill. Shave is done. See you on the cadre. Take care. Bye.